Hi, welcome to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing my summer TBR. So these are all books that I am planning to, or at least hoping to read this summer. Some of these are kind of like summary books that I was hoping to read during the summertime, and then some of these are just books that I know I want to read soon, so I'm hoping that I will be able to get to them this summer. So yeah, I have a lot of books that I want to get through. Honestly, I feel like this is a very ambitious TBR, and I don't think I'm going to get through all of these. And these are just like physical books, most of them. I have a few that I don't own yet that I also want to read. Also, this TBR is kind of just supposed to cover like June, July, August pretty much. So yeah, these are all books that I'm hoping to read like in the next 3 months or so. So let's just get into it, starting with the first book, which is my first kind of priority of what I want to read this summer, or at least get it done this summer for sure. And that is the Addicted and Calloway Sister series. It's literally on every TBR. One of these days it's not going to be on the TBR, and that's going to be sad because I'm going to be done with it. But every TBR video I make, I include a book from the Addicted and Calloway Sister series. So I have this book, which is the 5th book in the Addicted series. This is the next one that I have to read, and this is Addicted After All. My goal is to finish this series, or at least the next 3 books, by the end of the summer. I want to read Addicted After All, Fuel the Fire, and Long Way Down. I'm not planning to read Some Kind of Perfect yet, like at least not this summer. I mean, I might, but it's not a plan just because I don't want to rush into that book because I know it's going to make me sad. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is once I finish reading the Addicted and Calloway Sister series, I want to reread the books before I read the epilogue novel, Some Kind of Perfect. So that's going to take me a while probably. I don't know, I might read them all just back to back, or I might kind of space them out, but there's 9 books, so I still need to get through those 9 books, and then I'm planning to reread them because I started the series back in November, so it's been a while. So I want to reread the entire series, and then once I do that, I'm gonna go into Some Kind of Perfect. Obviously, I just want to at least finish the next 3 books by the end of the summer and then reread them probably like in the fall and winter, and then I want to finish the series though by the end of the year. But anyway, I'm going into too much detail. It doesn't matter. I just really like talking about these books. So this is the next one I have to read, Addicted After All, and then I'll obviously be reading the other 2 books at some point this summer. So my next books that I want to read are both by Lucy Score. These are other kind of prioritized reads for me. So the first book is Things We Never Got Over, and then the second book is Rock Bottom Girl. So I think I've talked about both of these before. I've definitely talked about Things We Never Got Over. I've been wanting to read both of these, especially Things We Never Got Over. I got this one back in March. I've been saying I was gonna read it, I think, since then, and I keep putting it on my TBRs. I was like determined to read it in April. I really thought I was going to, and then I didn't. And then I put it on my May TBR, and I really was planning to read it in May, which at the point that I'm filming this, May isn't over yet, but I'm not going to read it this month. I just know I'm not. But June will possibly be the month for me to read this book because I really want to read it. I'm excited to read it. I just haven't yet. I keep putting it off. It's because it's long. It's like over 500 pages. And I know I'm going to like it. At least I think I'm going to like it. But I just kind of keep putting it off because it's such a long book, so that's why I haven't read it yet. And then Rock Bottom Girl. This one I actually was planning to read it. I went on a road trip and I took this book with me because I was planning to start it, and then I didn't. So I am planning to read it soon though. I think I'll really like this one. It seems really cute. Yeah, it might be like one of my next couple reads. It just depends how I'm feeling after I read, or after I finish reading what I'm reading now. The next book is Throttled by Lauren Asher, which is part of the Dirty Air series, and it's another book that I keep putting on my TBRs. But this one, again, I'm determined to read it this summer. This whole series, I want to finish it. I was planning to read this one in May, but then I ended up reading another series instead. And that series was 4 books also, so I'm holding off on reading this one for now because I just read like a 4-book series and I kind of read them all back to back. Not that it really matters, but I just want to wait probably until sometime this summer. I don't know when, but I'm for sure gonna read it this summer. I'm really excited to read these books now, but this is a series that I would love to do like a reading vlog for, so I'm waiting until I feel like doing another reading vlog, and then that's when I'll probably read this one. So my next few books that I'm going to talk about are all rom-coms that I've had on my shelf for a while that I really want to get to. So I'm just going to kind of go through these quickly, I guess. So first I have Love Her, Lose Her by Tessa Bailey. It's a marriage reconciliation book, and I'm really excited to read this one. I feel like I'm going to love it. I haven't read it yet. It's also been on the TBRs. It was on my March TBR, I think, so that was like a couple months ago, and I still haven't read it, but I would love to get to it this summer. And then after that, I have Tools of Engagement, which is the 3rd book in that series. It follows Love Her, Lose Her, and I'm really excited to read this one too. Again, it's been on a TBR before, but I will read it hopefully this summer. Next, I want to read Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. This book, I got it recently. It just came out in April, and I guess it was over like a month ago already, but yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. I love Abby Jimenez. I've read her other series, the Friends End series, and it was so good. So I feel like I'm gonna love this one. I'm really excited to read it soon. Yeah, I don't know. I'll get to it eventually. I haven't been in the mood to read physical books. I've been wanting to read on my Kindle, so that's why I have a lot of just like random rom-coms that I really want to read, but I just haven't gotten to yet because I haven't felt like picking them up. But this one I'm really excited to read. The next book I have is The Roommate by Rosie Danon, and this one, again, I've had it on my shelf for a while. I'm excited to read it. I'll read it eventually. But yeah, I just feel like I'm mentioning all these rom-coms because I feel like rom-coms are just really good to read in the summer. They're really like cute and like lighthearted for the most part, so I feel like this one would be a good one to read in the summer, hopefully. So I'm putting it on my summer TBR, and we'll see. I've almost picked this one up before. I actually put it off my shelf one time and was gonna start it, and then I just didn't, and that was months ago, so hopefully now I'll actually read it. The next book is another rom-com, The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. This one's been on my TBR for a really long time, and I'm excited to get to it soon. Again, just a cute rom-com that I think would be good for summer. And then the next book is The Roughest Draft. This one, I got it I think back in like, I don't even know when I got it. I got it a while ago, and it was also on a TBR before. I think I put it on my March TBR, and I remember I said at one point in a video, I think, that this one I think would be a good book to read in the summer, and I wasn't intending, like I wasn't planning to save it for summer, but that basically happened anyway. So now hopefully this summer I'll read it. I think this one would be a cute one to read. I feel like it reminds me a lot of like Emily Henry, just from the synopsis. It reminds me of her books. So I feel like I'm gonna enjoy this one. So I'm looking forward to hopefully reading it in the next few months. The next book is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. So this book is, again, rom-com. This one's YA. I think I've talked about it before, but yeah, but Better Than the Movies seems like a really cute book. I think I'll really like this one. I feel like I've been seeing more people talk about it lately, so I'm excited to read it soon. And yeah, this one is definitely like one that I really want to read. So yeah, so hopefully I'll get to it this summer. The next book is Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one, I've had it since it came out last summer. Like I went and bought it the week it came out last June, and I haven't read it, but I've been excited to read it because I love Taylor Jenkins Reid. I don't know, I haven't got into it, but she does have a new book coming out in August, so I do want to read it before the new book comes out, hopefully. And again, this one seems like a good book to read in the summer for some reason to me. So yeah, I've kind of been waiting for that a little bit. Not really, I actually haven't, but I just think now that it's summertime, I feel like that's my excuse for reading it, and that's my excuse for putting it off for so long. But yeah, I'm excited to read this one soon. Once I read this one, I will be caught up with all of Taylor Jenkins Reid's books, and then obviously she has her new one coming out. So I want to like hopefully read it before then, so that way when the new one comes out I can read that one. Next, I want to read the Slammed series by Colleen Hoover. So the first book is Slammed, and then Point of Retreat, and then This Girl. And so this series, it's one of the few books I have left to read by Colleen Hoover, and I have been trying to get through all of her books. I read most of them last year, so I have 5 left, which includes these 3. And yeah, I'm hoping to finish her books by the time her newest book comes out in October. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not that excited to read them, but I do love Colleen Hoover, so like I'm excited because it's Colleen Hoover, but the storyline doesn't really interest me that much. But I am gonna read them. I do want to read them, obviously, and then hopefully I will get through the rest of her books eventually. The next book is All Roads Lead Here by Mariana Zapata. I haven't read a Mariana Zapata book in a while. I've only read 4 of her books, but I feel like every time I read them, I kind of take like a break after. Her books are all slow burns, and I like her writing, but I feel like it's something I have to get used to, and it's not something I want to read like all back to back. Like I have to space her books out kind of, but I've been wanting to read this one for so long. So yeah, this one is the next one that I want to read by Mariana Zapata because I'm slowly trying to make my way through all of her books. So yeah, so this one's like the next one that's a prioritized read of her backlist. So the next few books I'm going to talk about are ones that I really want to read this summer, but I don't own physical copies of yet, but I'm going to go ahead and mention them anyway. So the first book is Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. This book just came out, and I love Christina Lauren. Their books are always really cute, so I have been really excited to read this one, and I don't really know too much about it. I just know that it's Christina Lauren, so that's why I'm reading it. Next, I want to read the Summer I Turned Pretty series. I have never read this series. I have read To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and I loved those books. They're all YA. And so The Summer I Turned Pretty is becoming a TV show, and I want to watch the show, obviously, and so I definitely want to read the books first. So yeah, they've been on my TBR for a little while. I am planning to read them definitely before the show comes out because I'm really excited to watch that once it's out. Next, I want to read Love and Gelato. I think it's by Jenna Evans Welch, or Welch Evans. And this one, I've been told to read it for like a really long time now, for like years, and I just haven't got into it, but it is becoming a movie on Netflix. And I just found this out recently. So the movie comes out this summer, I'm pretty sure. So I definitely, again, I want to watch the movie, so I'm gonna read the book before the movie comes out. So yeah, those are all the books that I am hoping to read this summer. I feel like there's a lot, and I know I'm definitely not gonna get to all of these because there's so many books that I'm gonna eventually want to read that aren't on this list, because I am definitely like a mood reader and I just know I'm not gonna like read these like in order or anything. So yeah, so there's a good chance I won't even get to a lot of these, but they are ones that I am hoping to read, and they are kind of prioritized. It just kind of depends on how I feel once I finish certain books. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you liked this and you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.